Unlike Borderlands 4, which is slower than how fast my grandma runs, and my grandma is about 94. Borderlands 4 CEO Randy Pitchford has been in hot water recently this weekend. Is it justified? You decide. So Randy Pitchford is the founder and CEO of Gearbox Entertainment, or Gearbox Software. They make the popular looter shooter Borderlands. I'm not sure if you guys have heard of it. It's only been around for almost 20 years, and they're on their fourth entry with a spin-off or two along the way. But Randy Pitchford, the CEO, has been in news recently, not because he got caught kissing another woman on a Coldplay concert cam, not because he's involved in the Epstein list by Donald Trump, not because he's anything to do with Charlie Kirk. He's in hot trouble because he's been making controversial comments about Borderlands 4 performance and how players are dead set on playing the game at max settings in 4K with 2 to 3 year old hardware. So you're saying anything with like a 3080, 3090, 4080, 4090, that is old hardware. I mean, yeah, it's old, but that is probably more powerful than what you get on a PlayStation or an Xbox. So I don't see why the PlayStation or Xbox version will be any more stable than a PC. But he actually released a tweet recently saying, I know a lot of you are dead set on playing at 4K with max ultra settings and using 2 or 3 year old hardware. You do you, but BL4 and UE5, which is Unreal Engine 5, are doing a lot for me, and that trade-off is frames isn't worth it. I play at 1440p with settings super high, and I'm super happy at that trade-off. He goes on to state that people are being stubborn due to wanting to play the game in 4K with lower-end hardware, but come on, the game just came out, and it is not because of old hardware. The game is an optimized piece of garbage. I was playing Hell Is Us recently, another brand new game that just came out at the beginning of the month, and I'm able to hit 1440p max settings, easily 60 frames per second, no problem. That game is beautifully optimized, unlike Borderlands 4, which is slower than how fast my grandma runs, and my grandma is about 94. And then he goes on to say, if you have a beast of a video card, you're probably at 4K, but if you're in the middle of close to min spec, I'd recommend definitely making that trade. And that trade he's recommending is trading high graphics for frame rates. I traded even at medium at 1440p, I'm getting about 40 frames per second. I have an i9 12900K. 3080 10 gigabyte and 32 gigabytes of RAM. So obviously not a top of the line PC that you can get now if you had unlimited money, but it's still not a minimum spec PC either. It's somewhere along the lines. It definitely has some powerhouse thanks to the CPU, but the GPU is starting to show age. But either way, the GPU is more than enough. It's actually part of the recommended specs, and even though my GPU is recommended, I'm still having terrible performance issues, and almost sometimes it made the game unplayable. On launch day, the game was pretty unplayable. You can see how bad the performance is on my Twitch. I stream almost every day at twitch.tv/MRXTMB. Go ahead and give me a follow and watch me there tomorrow. I was enjoying the game, but with the terrible frame rate and how terribly optimized the game is, the fluctuation of the frame rate almost made the game unplayable. It would go anywhere from 15, 20 to 40 frames per second. Even on low at 1440p, I couldn't get 60 frames per second. I think even if I switch down to 1080p, I would be surprised if it hits a steady 60 frames per second. The game is just not optimized for it. And especially with Duveno, the DRM management that everyone hates because it is a resource hog. That is another thing that is hogging or is slowing down the game, is this anti-cheat measurement in the background that is actively taking up computer resources and making the game run slower all at the same time. And it's not just this game, it's a very common thing with games that have this DRM installed. It's Duveno. It's a popular digital right management tool, but a lot of games that have incorporated it into their own game never seem to get it to run well. It always affects performance of the game, even or unless it's on consoles, because you don't have to worry about root access and system level cheats at a admin level, I guess you could say. And this is not the first time he's made comments like this. Randy Pitchford is basically aligning himself as like one of the top 5 worst CEOs of gaming companies. You probably have Phil Spencer, unfortunately, at the top. I mean, this tweet is going to go down as one of the top 5 bad or brain dead CEO or brain dead responses from a gaming company. Similar to the, do you guys have phones? Don't you guys have phones from Blizzard? Similar to Peter Molyneux promising Fable and how amazing that is going to be. This is going to be similar to that. This is going to be one of those responses that's going to go down in history and in future business classes as what not to do. You do not blame your customers for having old hardware because your game is unoptimized. I mean, if you look at all the Steam reviews are terrible for this game. Let's see what it is sitting at. 66% right now. Love how modern games can't be bothered to be optimized anymore, and they still want $70. Correct. I can't believe that either. Dice Dragon, that is a good point. How are we going to play top? Why do we keep paying top dollar for top quality games? Excuse me. But we're not getting top quality games. We are getting games that are frankly shouldn't even be paid for $30 or $40. Enclave says bought the Super Deluxe Edition only for the game to tell me I can't use any of the DLC weapons because I don't have DLC. That's funny. It just goes to show you how broken this game is behind the scenes, and Randy Pitchford is trying to blame the gamer for either having an underperforming computer, old hardware, or anything in between, rather than taking a look at his own game and realizing that using Unreal Engine 5 and Denvano DRM tool is a terrible combination. All right, this is pretty good. This game is fun. The game is great fun, full of fun things to do. What do you expect from Borderlands when it runs? Game is riddled with total lack of optimization. They want everyone to use scalers and frame gen to get to 60 FPS, crashes, freezing, stuttering. I'm lucky enough to be able to get to run a mixture of high, medium settings at 30 on a 3080. I don't feel recommending to this title to anyone else with the total of lack of recommendation. Yes, there's performance issues, but I don't believe it's bad as it's made out to be. They're patching it and might have made some slight adjustments. Unfortunately, the game does not run as bad as everyone says it is. I mean, other than a couple bad reviews, I don't think I can zoom in. Other than a couple bad reviews, or other than the people complaining about the optimization, it does have solid reviews.